Good evening.
Why are you doing that? Come on. Bonk. All right, here we are. Hi. All right, good evening, and welcome to Before Brady's here at Start for another edition of the North Florida High School Football Gridiron Report. Marty, Pallman, Corey Davis with you on the North Florida Sports Talk Network. I'm joined by people playing darts behind us here tonight at Before Brady's and Start. Another edition of our show. We join you every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. here from Before Brady's and Start for high school football. 9 to 10 is our college football report. And Corey, another really big week for high school football last week. We had a lot of other stories to talk about, including part of it, a rough week for Putnam County teams. You saw one of those teams. But some more big games in Ocala area, Vanguard beating North Marion in their rivalry game. Beholtz in the rivalry game again, no trouble with Gainesville. 8th straight county title for them, 44-0. And Newberry getting a win against Santa Fe. And then at Jacksonville, kind of a lighter week in Jacksonville, although Rains and Reball played. I guess they played. It wasn't much of a game, yeah.
It was like 53-0, I think, Saturday.
Yeah, apparently they had minus 66 rushing yards. Reball did.
At half.
Well, halftime.
Oh, wow. Halftime stats.
242 passing yards, 421 rushing at the half for Rains. Okay, yeah. Well, we thought they'd win, and sure enough, they did. But we'll get to that a little bit later. But let's start with our breaking news, I guess we could say, as news from around the region. This is a statewide story here. We've always called this the NIT, last year's Florida Invitational Tournament. The rural tournament was last year. Well, the FHSA voted, we were joking about this, 5 o'clock last Friday when football games are about to start, to expand 2025 FIT tournament to include 2 more brackets, 1A through 3A and 4A through 7A. So every classification is going to have one now.
Yeah, this is literally like a, oh, by the way, kind of moment. I mean, I was at a game preparing for my game and saw it on Twitter, and I was like, what are they talking about? And it gradually started picking up steam Friday night. Different media outlets started talking about it. And, but they started this last year with the Rural League. And
right.
It was going to be like 32 teams to start with, but a lot of teams turned it down. Mm-hmm. Maybe because it was their inaugural, or maybe they thought that, if we don't make the real playoffs, we're not going to play in the NIT.
Which I understand, yeah.
Josh Wilson told me that some handful of teams decided to not play in the tournament. And, I mean, when you got Dixie County going all the way to the championship game with 6 losses.
Yeah, they were for the 6 and 7.
Yeah, I mean.
Fort Meade, I think, had 5 or 6. Fort Meade won 21-13 in the final of that. So
yeah, so, I was paying attention to it, but I was like, why is the 6-loss team playing for a so-called state title? But luckily, they don't call it that.
Well, as you said, I think they get a trophy for winning it, so I guess it's fairly legitimate. But, well, it is for this. But we're going to see it's getting to the point where basically, I know why they're doing it. The FHSA obviously wants to make some more money, but still, it's going to get to the point where every team's going to be in the playoffs, where we're rolling right now. And which, to me, kind of makes it, what's the point of having a playoff? You're not going to have the best teams in it, but it is what it is, I guess. So, but the FHSA making that announcement, the top 16 teams that don't make the playoffs in the classifications will be considered.
I actually talked to one of my teams Friday night, the team I was covering, Crescent City. Actually, their game was over with, and I said, "Hey, by the way, you heard about this new playoff format?" "Oh yeah. We try to use it now for our kids' motivation." After Crescent City lost to Father Lopez, and Father Lopez won the district.
That's true.
That's the motivation they use. Hey, we still got a chance to make this other playoff tournament. And I asked him, would you go to it if you were invited? And he said, heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course you would, because it is a chance to play more, to practice more, to get it out, and and you're right. For that reason, I would say that they're playing for a trophy. So, like I said, they're playing for a trophy. So,
I'm curious. I'm going to ask if Blacko would be, would they join too?
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll see. As Plaka not quite out of the playoffs, I guess. Well, they're pretty close to.
Oh, they're out. They're out
because they've already lost to Bradford and to Newberry. Yeah. So speaking of that, and Santa Fe, that's right. Yeah. Wait, have they played?
All they got left is Keystone.
I played Bradford last week, right? And then this week we have Bradford and Newberry. Well, this was under the title Putnam Misery. It can only be described as complete misery and maybe the worst night ever in the county. The three Putnam County football teams were outscored 163-41 at home in their 3 games. Bradford beat Palaca 36-0. Brantford, not Bradford, beat Interlochen 56-20. That's where I know, Corey, you were at this game. And Orlando Christian Prep, you said this is going to be ugly. Spanked Crescent City 71-21. So yeah, rough night.
That game was 29-0 in the first quarter.
OCP is good. I mean, their only loss for Beachside this year was to OCP week 1. They're a good team, but all those teams are at home too. God, that's rough.
Which makes it even worse.
I know, it really does.
And Mark told me that Palaca's 2 opening drives went to the 1-yard line and the 2-yard line.
Couldn't score?
Yeah.
Oh. And that's interesting because I look at this and I say, well, Bradford has had like 4 shutouts this year. Their defense has been dominant, but obviously Palaca had a chance early in that game, and that was about it. But Brantford, no problem with Interlochen and Bell this week. We'll talk about that game a little bit later. That'll actually be for the playoffs, right? Winner will move on.
Yeah, for the Atlantic League, the last spot in the playoffs.
And several district titles are on the line this week when district play resumes, or teams could be eliminated from title contention.
Which I actually looked this up while I was waiting on you. And 1-7A Creekside, Atlantic Coast goes to Creekside. The winner of that wins the district. And 6A, Horizon goes to South Lake. South Lake wins, they win the district.
Okay.
Couple more. These are only district championships, not anything else. 2-3A, McCullough goes to God district. If Godby wins, they win the district. And if McCullough wins, McCullough likely wins too. The game we're going to be at, 4-3A, Bishop Kenny going to Menendez. The winner wins the district. 5-2A, Newberry goes to Bradford.
Well, technically, Bishop Kenny winner doesn't win yet, but actually, Menendez has already played 2 district games. So yeah, I guess you're right. Bishop Kenny would win, even though they have Westside, or Bishop Kenny won the game. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. So what other games?
5-2A, Newberry gives to Bradford for the district championship. Santa Fe still has a shot, but they would need Newberry to win and then Santa Fe to beat Bradford.
Yeah, they play Bradford next week. A couple weeks off still.
A couple weeks, yeah.
Okay.
And the last one is 2-1A. Trinity goes to Episcopal with the winner winning the district also.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
we got like 5 district games that will decide playoff spots. That's what we got.
Right. Okay. So we'll talk about those games too later. We'll start though, but look back at last week. We start in Ocala. Vanguard. We talked about this game last week, a rivalry game, and no problem with the North Marion Colts. 48-7 Vanguard with their 6th straight win. Their opener, they lost to Beagles by 2 points. That's their only loss to this point. And Eastside. Yeah. And Vanguard has no problem with as Eastside takes on the north side. Yeah, that's right. Vanguard is on the east side of Marion County in Ocala. But Terrence Lewis ran for 138 yards on 9 carries and 2 touchdowns. The Knights were up 13-7 after a quarter and then scored the next 35 points for a running clock. So Vanguard gets another win. Meanwhile, Trinity Catholic, ouch, at home. We talked about O'Galley being a good team. Well, O'Galley beats Trinity Catholic 51-0. The Commodores go to 5-2. They led 37-0 at halftime, 22-0 in the first quarter. One of the bigger losses you'll see Trinity Catholic, usually a pretty good team at home as well.
I wasn't surprised they lost, but the outcome was what surprised me.
Right.
Sorry, the Celtics are going to be well prepared for the playoffs with the schedule.
Again, they're in 1A, so you're right. They will be ready for that. And meanwhile, Umatilla 7-0. They beat Lake Weir 48-8. That's a Lake Weir's dropped 3 in a row after starting 3-1.
Yeah, they finally started playing world competition, and they've gone from 3-1 to 3-4. And Umatilla might be the best team in the Atlantic League as far as the North.
Right, they do play in that SSAA Atlantic League.
As of yesterday, they were the number 1 team in the North.
Okay. usually talk about Umatilla, but they're obviously having a pretty big year. Williston, Ronnie Pruitt wins number 201 as they go to Bellevue and win 42-6. Bellevue now back on a 3-game losing streak after beating Dixie County. Williston 5-1, Bellevue 1-6. And Pallman Christian goes and beats St. Francis Catholic 38-20. 234 yards, 5 touchdowns for Saints tailback Joshua Davis on 30 carries as Pallman Christian improves to 6-2. St. Francis is now 2-5. Other scores from last week. Forest loses a tough one to close defensive battle, 14-7 to Wesley Chapel. It was Westport also losing a defensive battle, 13-0 to 5A out of Hudson. Denellen gets a win over Specially Fit Academy, love that name, 33-22. And the First Academy of Leesburg defeats St. John Lutheran 55-34. There's a shootout there, 89 points combined between those two.
You have to wonder if they feed them spinach before the game.
Especially fit, yeah.
Especially fit. Yeah.
To the spinach, suit your spinach. That's exactly right. But all right. So look at Gainesville last week. We'll move on to Gainesville now. We said earlier, Buchholz and Gainesville, the city rivalry game. Buchholz for the 8th straight year wins the Ottawa County title. 7th straight win over against GHS. 44-0. Gainesville falls to 2-4. That was their first home game of the season. I put that in quotes because anytime they play each other, I don't really consider it a home game at Citizens Field. But Buchholz gets another win. They will travel to Toccoy Creek this week in district play. Gainesville has a big game tomorrow night against Leesburg. I'll be there for that game and their district. They got to win to stay alive for postseason play. But again, Gainesville hung in for a little bit, but Buchholz eventually really took control of that game. GHS just isn't at that level right now, Buchholz.
Right. Buchholz just keeps flexing their muscles, and they dominate the county. They dominate GHS. They dominate Eastside. It's really no surprise who won the game, and especially the margin. But it just talks about the testament to Coach Whittemore and what he's been able to do. And like, he left and then came back, and even while he was gone, they were still dominating. Even when I played, Buchholz was, back in the 90s, they were a power too.
They won their state champion. They won the state championship in 1990. Only in school history. They've been close to 4 straight appearances in the state semifinals for this team. But so Bradford, we mentioned the Tornadoes, another shutout, 36-0 at Palaca. Bradford now 6-1, 2-0. That in 2A District 5. Palaca now 1-6 and 0-3. As you said earlier, Palaca had the ball at the 2 and the 1 early, couldn't score, and a tie game, and then Bradford took over from there.
I mean, imagine if they score 1 and get a field goal. You're up 10-0. Mm-hmm. It could be a completely different game.
It's true.
And actually, Bradford struggled for the majority of the game. It wasn't until, I think, late second quarter when Bradford started scoring.
Yeah. And actually, Bradford has, their only loss was 14-7 to Mandarin. Their offense at times struggled a bit, but their defense has just been so dominant, and it's been keeping them in games. And again, their only loss coming to Mandarin. In that game, I think Mandarin had a pick 6 and a punt return for touchdowns. Yeah. Otherwise, Bradford may win that game 7-0. Who knows? But, Santa Fe, after the 4-0 start, 2 weeks in a row, they've run into University Christian in Newberry, and Newberry gets the win in the rivalry game, 27-7. So the Panthers now in pretty good shape, 3-3, 3-0 in district play. As you say, they'll play Bradford for district title this week. Santa Fe falls to 4-2, 1-1. Actually, Santa Fe's still alive. Right. As you say, they have to hope that
Newberry wins and then Santa Fe beats Bradford.
Right. So that's what they have to look at for that. But Newberry does get the win at Santa Fe, 27-7.
I take that back.
I think it has to be the other way around.
Newberry's 3-0. Santa Fe, Bradford's 2-0. So, if Newberry wins, they clinch the district. If Bradford wins, they would go to 3-0. So, either way, Santa Fe is eliminated. They'd have to be a wild card.
Yeah, that's right. So,
how about Coach Fry?
Cubs win.
Yeah.
4-3. Well, they're still down 2-1. They hold on. Yankees are fighting for their lives, 1-1. Although they came back last night down 6-1 against the Blue Jays, so that was a big win. How about Aaron Judge in that game? But sorry, what were we saying?
Coach Fry.
Yeah, how about that? Mike Rideout was at this game. This was like a 28-all, 26-all game. I think in the first half. Ended up 46-26 Trenton. Oak Hall didn't score in the second half. Oak Hall, they were unbeaten going into that game. So Trenton goes to 5-1, coming off that loss to Chiefland. And Oak Hall gets their first loss of the season at Trenton. So big win for, as you said, Brian Fry there at Trenton again. Columbia, well, they took out a little bit of frustration in the St. Augustine game. Man, that team is struggling this year. 35-0. Columbia beats them in Lake City. Tigers now 6-1. Corey Allen had 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 for 90 yards for the Tigers.
And even though Mansion's struggling, I bet because their schedule is so tough.
Yeah,
because they play Buchholz and Columbia.
Yeah,
they'll still probably make the playoffs.
And that's just part of their schedule. I'll have to look and see who else they played, but as well. And then Brantford winning at Interlochen 56-20. Brantford quarterback Trent Lamb threw for 307 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ollie James 151 yards, rushing 3 touchdowns. Freshman running back. As the Bucks now go to 5-2, 535 total yards for Brantford, who rolls past Interlochen at 56-20.
Yeah, not a good night for the Rams. A really great night for the Bucks. The Bucks are maybe, flying under the radar at 5-2, and actually Brantford plays Trenton this week.
Oh, that's right. Big game there as well. It's also a rivalry game between those two as well. Other scores in the Gainesville area. Bell, 3 wins in a row. They beat Duval Charter 47-27. It was,
their 3 wins in a row have been against Cupcakes.
Poor Dixie County. Well, they got one win.
At least they scored.
Yeah, 63-8. Chiefland beats them. That's a rivalry game too. Tough year for Dixie County. Chiefland keeps rolling. Still only has that 1 loss to Baker County. Speaking of losing streaks, Bronson loses 42-0. Foundation Academy, another way to guard. It's blank there. So what are we at? 20? I don't
know. Actually, I didn't update that, but
I think it's 26 now, or 20. Yeah.
No, that's Sandalwood. I think this is 20. I think for Bronson.
Oh, they're behind.
Yeah, they're behind.
Okay, I thought they're okay. PK Young, they stay winless. Oh boy, Hamilton County beats 58-14. Hawthorne finally plays a game, and they blanked Bayshore 41-0. They hadn't played in 3 weeks. I believe that game was at Hawthorne.
It was.
Yeah, it was. That's right. So they only had their second home game of the year. Lafayette Fort White, we thought this would be a good ball game. Lafayette hangs on 27-20 over Fort White. Still only the 1 loss for Lafayette this season to Chiefland. How about West Nassau? Boy, they come back from the Yulee loss, and they blank Keystone Heights 52-0. Keystone just continues to struggle. And Union County, if I had a chance to win this game, came up a little bit short against Zarephath Academy 28-23 at Lake Buck.
Yeah, we talk about a Zarephath schedule too. They continue to play Gainesville, Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's right.
They play Blackville at the end of the year.
Yeah, they played, and now they've played Union County, like you said. So
I think they played Lafayette too. I think maybe.
They played who?
Lafayette or PK Young.
That's right. They did. They did play Lafayette. They played PK Young too. So, all right, we'll look at Gainesville from last week as we move along to Jacksonville. We start off with a surf and turf bowl. I brought this up the other night during our game. That's what it was called. And, my color commentator, Michael Phillips, really liked that name. He's from St. John's, played at Bartramshire. Surf and turf, you like that. And this was all surf on Friday night as they rolled past Beachside beats Sequoia Creek 45-13. The Barracudas are rolling 5-1. Tebek Vinny-Lella 107 yards and 4 touchdowns against the team he used to play for. He transferred from Sequoia Creek to Beachside. Toros fall to 3-3, but this is quickly becoming a pretty growing rivalry between these two. And they're both pretty good teams at this point.
Yeah, they started playing, I think, either last year or year before.
Yeah, this is year.
They're not really that far apart either. I mean, they're probably 10, 15-minute drive.
Yeah, not far at all there. They're kind of located more towards east, like West St. Johns County, away from the beach a little bit, where Ponte Vedra is in Nice. But yeah, Beachside gets the win, 45-13. Episcopal, they go to 6-1 and 2-0 in 1A District 2 as they defeat NFEI, NIFI, North Florida Educational Institute, 25-12. And big one on Friday at Episcopal, Trinity Christian and Episcopal for the district title.
Yeah, we'll find out which one's for real, because Trinity's played a murder schedule. Episcopal has played Cupcake.
Mandarin, now they go to Rockledge. We talked about this game last week, And no problem on the road as Rockledge struggling a little bit this year for them. They're usually pretty good. But Mandarin wins 38-0. They're 6-1. Say they go on the road and send a message. Again, that only loss, I guess you could count it, was to IMG Academy last week, or 2 weeks ago. So they pick up another win. Providence, they get a district win over Impact Christian 34-12. And the 1A District 3 matchup, Providence 3-4, they won their district opener, so they have a chance at the district title. They still have to play University Christian, so that'll probably be for the district title at this point. As we get to the Northwest Classic, that was last Saturday, and it was all Reigns, 9th straight year, as they beat Revolt 53-0. This is also a 3A District 3 game, so Reigns goes to 5-0. Again, 9 in a row for Reigns over their rival Revolt. At the half, Reigns led 15-3 in first downs. Rushing yards were 121 to -66 for Revolt, and passing yards were 242 to 48 in favor of the Vikings. So,
courtesy of Clayton Freeman there, who was at the game Saturday. But I've been to that game, and the Vikings. It's been a long time since the Trojans have come away with a victory.
It has been a while, and 9 years. But I mean, that's a long time. This is a game that used to kind of go back and forth pretty regularly, but. Lately, though, Reigns has been, they've been winning state titles. That program's been up. Revolt's been a little bit down for them. And another big win for Trinity Christian. They needed one. They got it. 22-13 over Riverside. Trinity goes to 2-4. Tough year for Riverside. Every game they play is close. They're 1-6 now. Orange Park beat them too by 2 points. So
I don't remember if they've been blown out. It might have been one time because it seems like every single week they're losing a close game.
Yeah, it is, and it's been. For them, a tough year at 1-6 as they lose 22-13 to Trinity Christian. Other scores in Baker County, 49-6 over Halifax. It was Bishop Kenny. I was at this game in Tallahassee, 56-14. It was a running clock the entire second half there. I was thinking Bishop Kenny 2 weeks in a row has had a running clock, and 4 of the 6 games this year they've had have been running clocks. One of them against them by Bowles. The other 3 they had against DeCoy Creek and then against Rickards and Terry Parker. So Bishop Kenny goes to 4-2, 56-14 winner. As you said, they'll play at Menendez this week for their district title. How about this game? Creekside 30, Fleming on 27. Thought this would be a good ball game. Non-district game, but Creekside gets the win and a close one, 30-27. At White, they get back on the winning track after the loss of Maradona. They win Atlantic Coast 48-21 in the rain at Atlantic Coast. On Friday night. It was raining in Jacksonville, I guess. It wasn't raining in Tallahassee, but where we were. Fletcher, they rebound a 28-12 win against Flagler Palm Coast, that on the road for the Senators.
Yeah.
For Seatric facing team. They call it.
Oh, you missed a game before that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I probably skipped it on purpose.
So close.
Sandalwood, man, they are getting close. 27-0 in a row. Sandalwood has dropped 14-7 to First Coast this time. That's the closest I think they've been this year. In a game in a while, and
I don't think they're going to win a game this year.
No, I don't either. And Mike Reddit will be there next week as they play Eastside at home. It's a homecoming game basically for Mike, but he's in Jacksonville now. That'll be next week's game. It said Fletcher winning at Flagler Palm Coast 28-12. Bishop Snyder goes down 42-6 to Lake Highland Prep. Eagles will be playing something called Mount Bethel. I don't know what that is. 17-6.
I don't know what that is either.
Mount Bethel beats Eagles 17-6. Mount Dora Christian beats Christ Church 22-0. Old Plank over Hilliard 32-14. Hey, the alma mater gets a win. Orange Park against Westside 45-6. Probably should win that game for Orange Park.
We'll take them. We'll take any win we can get right now.
That's right. Paxton over Inglewood 47-6. Wow, Paxton rolls over Inglewood, who's winless.
Yeah, Inglewood hasn't won a game yet.
They're on their way to a winless season, possibly. Kippold City, they go down again, this time to Ridgeview 31-8. St. Andrews 42, Harvest Community zip. St. Joseph 49. Young Kids in Motion, apparently not enough. 12, not enough motion for them.
Slow Kids in Motion.
This time for St. Joseph. We talked about this game last week. University Christian went to Miami, played on Thursday against True North Classical Academy, who is one of the top teams in 1A. He goes down 28-8 in that game. And you said you talked to Larry Bluestein down there. He said True North is a team that might win a state title.
Yeah, Larry said, we knew that game was not going to be close. We knew how good True North was. And, I can't remember if he said they're 1A or 2A, but he said they're going to be
1A.
Between them and Matter Academy, they're going to be state powers over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Matter Academy, by the way, is coached by Ice Harris.
True North. Oh, the old.
No,
Was it Booker?
Matter County.
Matter County. He was it. He at Booker T, Washington, or
Yeah.
that's where he was. Yeah. So that's where he is. Matter Academy now. And what I called Brain Bowl Part 2 last week. Wolfson 45, Stanton 8. So the Wolfpack get another win. I think it's their third win of the year now. They've won a few games.
I think they're 3 and 4
for Wolfson as they beat up Stanton. As we take a look now at
good win for the Fighting Hackers.
Yeah, that's true. Now we take a look at this week's schedule. And by the way, did we get a menu? But anyway, we're going to be from Stark. 40 years of beefs. You can do 3-4 trio, which includes a sampler. You drink either Coke or tea. You can get an entree starting at $10.99 or dessert too. That's at Beef O'Brady's. We're in Stark here, right off US 301 across from Bradford High School. I am Marty Pallman. He is Corey Davis. Welcome you to another edition of the North Florida High School Gridiron Football Report. Here on the College Football Florida Sports Talk Network. And again, next week we'll be back Wednesday 8 to 9 for high school football, 9 to 10 football. On 2 weeks, our show will be on Monday night, 20th of October. I'll be at a BUF volleyball game on the 22nd, 2 Wednesdays from now. So we will do that in 2 weeks. Next week,
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football, that's right. He was playing that night. Mike Rideout will join us next week as our guest on the high school report. He was here earlier, and I'll try to get somebody for college. We're gonna talk to Noah Ram of the Gainesville Sun, Alan Pettigrew of the Star Banner as well. It's Bucks at Lions that week. Okay, well the Bucks are playing. That's a good game Monday night. So we'll be here for that as well. All right, let's take a look at this week's schedule. Week 8. It's crazy. We're gonna be in the playoffs in less than a month. Playoffs. Now you have 3 weeks left, 4 weeks left in the season. Then you have that bye week after everybody. So we are about a month away from postseason. But this week we start on Thursday night, and a district game. Pittsburgh 3-3, 0-1 in district play. They lost to Vanguard. Gainesville 2-4, 0-1. They lost to the Canto. So basically elimination game in 4A to 5 for these two teams. That'll be tomorrow night at Citizens Field. I'll actually have that game tomorrow night beginning at 6:45. You can watch that on listed at MainStreetDailyNews.com. So I'll have that game tomorrorow night in Gainesville at Citizens Field. Bishop Snyder, Jacksonville hosts Faith Christian, 1-6-3-4 at Halifax Academy at Duval Charter. Those are both tomorrow night in Jacksonville. Looking at Friday's games, 7A District 1, Atlantic Coast at Creekside. Both teams are 1-0 in their district. Big game there. Atlantic Coast 3-3, Creekside 3-4. That is the DeLand's district, though, or no?
No. 1-7A is not.
It's Atlantic, Creekside, and Sandalwood. Oh, so the winner here is going to win the district.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Flagler, Palm Coast, and DeLand. Sorry, DeLand's in 7A District 2. They host Flagler Palm Coast. It's only 2-4, but both teams are 1-0. Actually, DeLand has not played a district game. Flagler Palm Coast is 1-0. That Spruce Creek game was delayed or postponed the week before. They're going to pick it up November 6th. So
which you just talked about. We have a bye week because of the hurricane, and because of weather, they moved that game to that bye week.
So they'll play that bye week, as you said, and then the postseason starts the following week. And both those teams, DeLand and Spruce Creek, are going to be in the playoffs. Speaking of which, Spruce Creek, they actually will play their opener in district play against Orange City University, who struggling this year. 1-5 they are. 0-1 in district play at 7A2. Spruce Creek, again, district opener for them. 6A District 2, First Coast and Oakley. First Coast 4-2, 0-1 in the district. Oakley 5-1 and 1-0. Oakley coming off another win. Actually, they were on a bye last week. A lot of teams were on byes last week, especially in the Jacksonville area. Fletcher and Mandarin, big game at 6A District 2. Fletcher lost their district opener
Oakley.
to Oakley. Mandarin got a win to start district play against. They beat First Coast. That's right. First Coast in 6A2. So they'll play this week at Mandarin. Fletcher 5-2, Mandarin 6-1. Nice and Bartram Trail in 6A3. Nice lost their district opener to Beale. Sorry, it's Beale's district. 4-2. So they need a win here. Bartram Trail has won 2 in a row after starting 0-4, and they won their district opener as well. So we'll see if they can get a win this week. They'll be at Buholtz in a couple weeks. Speaking of Buholtz, on the road at Coy Creek. Coy Creek needs a win, or they're pretty much out of it. 6-3. Buholtz 6-0, 1-0. Coy Creek 3-3, and 0-1 in district play. 5-3. Let's see if Beachside can get the district title. It looks like it might come down to Beachside and Middleburg in this district. Middleburg can beat Ponte Vedra. Ponte Vedra's already lost to Beachside, but Fleming Island 1-1 in the district as well. Beachside is 1-0. Beachside 5-1. Fleming Island is 3-3, and that is in 5-3. Ponte Vedra, Middleburg, big game. Middleburg going to finally
welcome to the 25 regular season.
Yeah, exactly. They're 6-0 too. They won their district opener.
They beat Orange Park. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Ponte Vedra is 4-2 and 1-1. They lost to Beachside and beat Fleming Island. So that's where they are at this point. Fleming Island beat Orange Park, lost to Ponte Vedra. So they're 1-1, right? 5-8 District 4. Bellevue on the road at Matanzas. District opener for Bellevue. They're 1-6. Matanzas 4-3, 0-1. So Bellevue wants to get a win in their district opener. St. Augustine Clay is going to get ugly in 4A District 3. St. Augustine 6-0. They had a bye week last week, 1-0 District Clay. Clay won their district opener. They're 1-5 and 1-0 beat
Richard.
Right. And St. Augustine knocked off Columbia in their district opener. Speaking of Columbia, looking at Ridgeview in 4A3, Columbia 6-1. 0-1 in district play, Ridgeview 2-4, and also 0-1. Sandalwood non-district game, 0-7. They will cross town to take on the 5-1 Ed White Commanders. Good luck there. I don't think that's going to happen.
The streak continues.
Yeah, the streak continues. Ed White's having a really good year as well. Now here's something: can Inglewood get a win? This is going to be a chance for them, and also a chance for Riverside to finally get a win. 1-6 Riverside hosts 0-6 Inglewood. It's actually the 4A District 4 opener. Riverside, they can still make the postseason. They win their district games coming up. That's
they would. Yeah, because it's only Inglewood and Ed White. So
yeah, well, obviously beating Inglewood, they probably can. Beating Ed White's going to be tougher, but they have a shot at it at least with Riverside. Meanwhile, in 3A District 2, Baker County, they lost their district opener 3-4, 0-1. They'll host Swanee, who's 1-5 and 0-2 in district play. Been a tough year for the Bulldogs. Somebody needs to win here. They're pretty much eliminated.
They both are basically, because the next game will decide the district.
It's true, because Baker County has already lost to Wakulla, and Swanee, as you said, 0-2. And Wakulla at Godby in 3A District 2. Wakulla 4-2 and 1-0. That's a little bit out of our area, but that's a big game.
It's the same district as Swanee and Baker, though.
Yeah, that's right. 3A2. Godby's 2-0 in district play, 3-4 overall. Wakulla 4-2 and 1-0. So yeah, that's for the district title in 3A District 2. That game will be somewhere in Tallahassee on Friday night between Wakulla and Godby. Madison County played Pace last week. Go to Rains this week. 2-4 Cowboys. They're going to be ready for the postseason. How about that? As they travel to the graveyard this week to play Rains, who's 5-0. Another Nassau County game on Friday. Yulee unbeaten, still 6-0. Hosts 5-2 Fernandina Beach. Yulee keeps rolling.
Yeah, they are off to the best school record in program history, and they got a chance. Well, outside of Rains, they got a chance to go 9-1 this year.
Yeah, that's right. They do.
And if they beat Rains, they go 10-0.
That's true. They play Rains. That's their district. That'll be a district championship game for them. Yep, there as well. Speaking of that, we mentioned earlier Bishop Kenny and Menendez, 3A District 4. That'll be in St. Augustine. That's where I'll be on Friday night. Bishop Kenny won the district opener against Terry Parker. Menendez has beaten Westside and Parker, so this is for the district title. Bishop Kenny has a game left with Westside. Bishop Kenny 4-2, Menendez 3-3. This was a game last year. It was played on a Monday due to the hurricanes at Bishop Kenny. Bishop Kenny scored with about 30 seconds left to win, and then went in the district. So it was a good game last year. Menendez not quite as good as they were a year ago. They made the postseason last year anyway. Lost the opening round to Wakulla. But, yeah, this should be a good ball game on Friday night.
Remember, it says we're correct. They've lost to St. Augustine and Beachside.
Ponte Vedra.
And Ponte Vedra.
That's right. They've lost 3 games to St. Johns County teams. So. And they won again. The district includes Westside and Parker. Speaking of which, that's the next game in 3A District 4, which apparently we'll be picking tonight.
Somebody's got to win.
Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to win a district game too. Westside 0-6 and 0-1. Parker 0-5 and 0-2 in 3A4. Don't need to spend a lot of time on that game really. 2A District 4. Baldwin and Wolfson both 0-1. They need a win. Baldwin 4-2. They lost to Bowles. Wolfson 0-1 and 3-4. They lost to Jackson already. Which, speaking of which, this game probably for the 2A4 title now. Jackson at 3-3, 1-0 will travel to Bowles, who's 5-1 and 1-0. So
yeah, remember Wolfson hasn't played Bowles yet. So if Wolfson was to beat Baldwin, we set up a Wolfson Bowles championship game. And
you see me,
imagine
you smiling as you say that.
Imagine Hacker. Hacker was going to lose his mind.
Imagine Hacker with a game that will be over in the first quarter for the district title, we think. But
wow, no love for the Wolfpack.
No. They won 3 games this year, though. Won 3 games. That's going to be the game Friday night. Jackson Bulls. That'll be on 1010 XL in Jacksonville. Big game here. Actually, Newberry's 3-3, but yeah, big game here. 3-3, but they're 3-0 in district play. Bradford 6-1, 2-0 in 5A, 2A District 5. Not quite for the district title, but close with Santa Fe. Most likely going to win at Keystone Heights. Santa Fe will have a shot against Bradford next week, but. Again, this was a game last year that Newberry won twice. They beat them in Newberry and then playoffs and start. And this year, Bradford looking for revenge.
Yeah, something tells me that Bradford's going to be fully motivated for that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they haven't had a home game in a while. In fact, they've had 5 road games, 2 home games to this point. They have 3 home games to finish their regular season as well.
Come on, Bradford?
Bradford, yeah.
The last home game would have been South Sumter, maybe?
Yeah. No, that was in South Sumter.
Oh.
Yeah, the last home game was they played Mandarin on the road, they played Keystone on the road.
Right.
Eastside.
Eastside, okay.
Eastside. The only home games so far have been Eastside and Baker County this season. So we'll get a home game this week, and then I guess we'll get Santa Fe here next week. Or a couple weeks as well. Speaking of Santa Fe, they're at Keystone Heights. Santa Fe 4-2, 1-1. Keystone 0-6, 0-2. That's also 2A District 5. I mentioned this is for the district title. And 1A2, Trinity Christian 2-4, 1-0 at Episcopal, who's 6-1 and 2-0 in district play. So most likely for the district, it is for the district title. Other games of note: Northwood Educational at Port Orange Atlantic. Impact Christian is at Paxton. This is a good one, a non-district game. Hawthorne. 4-1, coming to Jacksonville to play University Christians 5-2. UC Connaught lost to True North last week, and this will be Mike Whiteout's game on 106.9 AM Country in Gainesville on Friday night. So good ball game there for those two. Especially Fit Academy at PK Young. Did PK Young get a win here? 0-6?
No.
Okay. They're not especially fit. Say. Here's a game you were talking about earlier, Corey. Bell at Interlock, and this looks like it will be to go to the playoffs. Bell is 3-4, Interlock and 2-5. Bell's run 3 in a row.
And Interlock has been off for because of bye week, they've been off for 2 weeks.
No,
you're right. I'm sorry, you're right. They did. Okay, never mind.
You can make the point though. It's okay. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, but they didn't.
Yeah. Bronson at Seven Rivers Christian, Lake Weir, and Lake Buena Vista. Interesting.
I was thinking about this with Mark, my boss. That's got to be the coolest place to watch a high school football game because literally you got Disney in the background, all the fireworks going off.
Is that where I'm assuming the school's right there? It's in Lake Buena Vista.
It's down the road, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I've never been to that school, but yeah, I would assume that.
Well, it's fairly new.
A Battle of the Lakes, Weir and Buena Vista this week. It is a big game. West Nassau 7-1, only lost to at the Satellite of 7-0. A big game in SSAA as well.
Yeah, that's a conference game for the Atlantic League, and it could decide. No, wait, Satellite's in the south, not north. But potential they could see each other in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trip for West Nassau. Yeah, I got to go down to 3 hours or 2.5 south to Satellite, who's located in the Melbourne area. Brantford and Trenton, we talked about that game earlier. Brantford 5-2, Trenton 5-1. Here's a big ball game in Perry on Friday. 6-1 Chiefland at undefeated 6-0 Taylor County. That's a big ball game in the rural classification.
Yeah, when and voting in your poll, and you got Taylor County in there, and I'm like, I always try to include Taylor County because they have been really good the last couple of years, and here they are again, 6-0.
Yep. Bluntstown, Dixie County, ouch. They got to go on the road. This Bluntstown's probably one of the state favorites this year in rural. They're 6-0. Dixie County got to take a long trip there to probably get beat, unfortunately. Fort White will host Zarephath. There's Zarephath again playing another team in North Central Florida. Fort White 3-3. Harrison Taylor at Williston. Williston looking to go to 6-1, and most likely will. Westport get down to 7A District 5. Westport 1-6-0 into West Orange 5-1-0. Ouch. Westport already out of
that one's going to be ugly really quick.
Westport already out of the postseason there. And big game for Forest 6A District 6. The Bobcats 3-3 1-1 at Lake Minneola, who's terrible. So really, it'll probably be a win for the Bobcats. Lake Minneola 1-5 0-1 in District 1. 3A District 5. Winner here is probably eliminated anyway. Denellen 3-4 0-1. They lost to Eastside North Marion 2-5 and 0-1 in 3A5. They lost to South Sumter. And that'll be the game Friday night at Citizens Field. 3A District 5 championship. South Sumter 5-1 and 1-0. Eastside 4-2. I guess technically not the championship quite, but it'll pretty much be close to the winner. Actually, it probably is.
Well, for South Sumter, it would be.
South Sumter.
East Side.
They still can play North Marion. Yeah, they beat Denellen. They played Denellen already. So that's right.
3-5A.
You got it.
No, I'm looking on my sheet and I don't see it. Oh, because I know why. It's 5-3A. The winner would be 2-0. The other one would be 1-1. So.
Yep. Okay, so that's our look at games coming up this week. Another big slate as always in Week 8. Hopefully the weather will permit. Or there's a chance of rain, as there always seems to be on Friday. And
you remind me of Josh.
I do.
Josh always says, "Oh, it's going to rain Friday."
Oh gosh, don't ever say that. That reminds you of Josh. Yeah, he is a definitely a weather pessimist at times, but we also know that Mike Rideout says this to me too, that the forecast has been wrong so much lately that who knows. But all right, so it is time for my favorite part of the show, our weekly picks, and we'll start with the results from last week.
Well,
good week.
I went 9-1. You went 8-2.
Ooh, up a game there. Huh?
I made up a game, but you still lead 64-18.
I know.
56-26.
So an 8-game lead. Yeah, we only had a couple of differences, and I know I picked O'Call. They lost to Trenton and
Santa Fe.
Yeah, Santa Fe. Went on a limb there a little bit. Yeah.
The only game I lost was O'Call. Yeah.
You had O'Call too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was the other difference then? Because I missed.
You had O'Call and Santa Fe.
Santa Fe. That was only one. Wait, we only had.
You had two losses. I had one loss.
Oh, so we only had one game we different on last week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought you took Trenton, but I can't remember. Okay. That's fine. Anyway. All right. Let's start with this is a district game, as we said. First Coast and Oakleaf on Friday. You starting this one or me?
I'm sorry, trying to get organized here. I'll go first.
Right, okay, so we start with First Coast at Oakleaf.
Okay, well, this is easy. Oakleaf is going to roll First Coast. First Coast has shown improvement, but Oakleaf is on a different dimension right now, and they're still going to play Mandarin for the district title. So I see them on a tunnel vision.
So you got Oakleaf. I'm going to take Oakleaf as well. They only have that one loss to Florida Bowls. First Coast, as you said, better, but not quite ready. I think to win this one, I'll take the Knights. Big one here, Fletcher and Mandarin. Kind of a rivalry game a little bit here, but a big district game between these two. This will be at the Mustangs home on Friday.
Fletcher's been playing well, but especially, at Mandarin coming off a huge win against Rockledge. I like Mandarin in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. Mandarin at home, I'm not picking against them, even though Fletcher is having a good year. But they've already suffered a couple of losses, one to Nice this season, so I'll take Mandarin as well. All right, next game is this is a big one in the district as well. Ponte Vedra and Middleburg. Corey, do you stay on the Middleburg bandwagon, or do we?
Hell no.
I didn't think you would.
Welcome to the 25 season, Middleburg.
That's right.
I'm going with Ponte Vedra.
It's like we almost take delight in this for some reason, but yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I like Ponte Vedra. I think they've had a couple losses close this year, one to Beachside, and the other early in the year, St. Augustine. So I'll take Ponte Vedra as well.
Well, and also I take pleasure in, Josh Wilson, his team going down because he's like, put some respect on our name.
Yeah, well,
Josh, you haven't played nobody.
Okay, if you win this week, yes, I will definitely get you some respect. You're 7-0 with a win against Ponte Vedra, but we'll see. Chiefland at Taylor County, interesting, like this game.
No brainer here. Even though I like Chiefland, I'm going with Taylor County. I'm going Taylor County at home.
Yeah, Chiefland's pretty good. I mean, they've already gone to Lafayette and won big. Not an easy place to play. I know Taylor County has been unbeaten. They've been rolling teams. I think this is going to be close, but yeah, I am with you. I think the home team wins this one. I think Taylor County wins at home to stay unbeaten.
All right.
I agree. Here we go. Hawthorne University Christian.
I think this is a pick'em game because I think they're very evenly matched. But Hawthorne, eventually those bye weeks are going to come back and haunt them because, they sat idle for so long. And UC played a brutal schedule with Bishop Kenny and True North. I like UC to win this game.
Yeah, I made a mistake of picking Newberry at UC back in week 1. Now, that being said, I think Hawthorne is better than Newberry. They beat out Newberry pretty badly. But this feels, Hawthorne's only loss was to Oakleaf.
Come on, not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend. You're right. I've been thinking about it. Give me the Hornets. They seem to find ways to win most of the time. I'll take Hawthorne on the road against the Christians.
All right.
Trinity Christian and Episcopal, big district game. Trinity can still win a district title despite their 2-4 record.
All I got to say is pretenders and contenders.
That's what the records would say.
Look who's played who.
Yeah.
I know Trinity is young, but Episcopal has played nobody. I'm going with Trinity.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. I know it's on the road, but it's not that far away. It's a cool place to go to a game, Episcopal, right there on the Hart Bridge, right across from downtown, kind of like Bishop Kenny. But yeah, Trinity wins this game and gets back on the right track there. Baldwin and Wolfson.
I really wanted to pick Wolfson because Baldwin's defense is horrible. They've given up like 80 points the last 2 games. But I still think Baldwin's got too many weapons.
Yeah, Baldwin. I'm not picking Wolfson in this game.
Not so fast, my friend.
Only loss they've had, and they lost to Baker County in a shootout, lost to Bowles. Baldwin should win this game, but Wolfson. No, not so fast, my friend there. I'm not taking the Wolf back. Sorry, Hacker. Newberry at Bradford.
I haven't really seen Bradford play actually in a while, but seen Newberry play a handful of times last year. Well, 3 times over the last year. Newberry can run the ball and throw the ball, and their defense is pretty good. But I don't see Bradford overlooking them this time. I think Bradford takes the win.
Yeah, I think Bradford is a chance at a state title again this year. That defense is legit. Only loss was to Mandarin. And as you said, they want revenge. They lost this game at home last year in the postseason. Not a lot of teams win here against Jamie Rogers' Bradford team. So yeah, I like the Tornadoes to get their revenge and win the district title, or at least on their way to it by beating Newberry. All right, The game will be at Friday night. Bishop Kenny at Menendez, fighting Juan Valdez, as they call them. The
Juan Valdez.
Falcons, Pedro Menendez.
Can you tell me who Pedro Menendez was?
Yeah, he was the Spanish settler of the fort, the Ciudad de San Marcos, right? Yeah. I know my St. Augustine history.
It's interesting when they named these schools because, like, Bartram Trail was a figure back in the day here too.
Right.
I want to say around when Columbus, was exploring St. Augustine, whatever. Just interesting facts there. But anyway, with that said,
for some people,
BK Royals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think last 2 weeks, Bishop Kenny's scored 56 points. Of course, that was against Parker and Rickards, but still, I think they're better than Menendez, and they'll win. Even though it's on the road, they'll win the game and win the district title. So I take the Crusaders. I never did a game with Menendez. First time I've only did a game there. Again, yeah, the high school called Menendez. You think they would have built it almost down by the fort or something downtown instead of way out in the southern part of the county? But yeah, we'll be there on Friday night. All right, West Side, Terry Parker. Ouch.
I put this on there because they're in the same district with Kenny and Menendez.
They are.
Somebody's got to get their first win. You've seen Parker. I thought you had seen West Side, but you haven't, obviously.
Not yet, no. But I can tell you they're not very good. They've been struggling.
I think Parker gets their first win. I know you said they were running clock on them early,
but this is one of those games where, I mean, both teams have struggled. I mean, Parker had a rough game against BK, but then again, wow, I have no idea. It's funny how this is a game I can't pick because you put 2 winless teams on here. You took Parker.
Mm-hmm. Not so fast, my friend.
Okay, I'll take West Side.
Okay.
We'll do that. A little bit different there. Denellen at North Marion.
Man, I just don't know what North Marion team is going to show up. I'm going to go with Denellen, actually.
I think Denellen's just better.
I think they also got a small shot too.
And their schedule's been tough too. I mean, they've lost 4 games, but I think Bradford was one of them, and they've played a pretty tough slate at this point. Yeah, I'm going to take Denellen as well on the road. South Sumter at East Side Friday night, Citizens Field.
We might disagree with this one. I'm actually going with South Sumter. Remember, they only lost was to Bradford.
Yeah, I think East Side's actually pretty good this year. That's right. They only lost just to Bradford. East Side lost to Bradford and to Buchholz. So, I mean, there's something. Both those teams have quality losses. East Side was close a year ago in Bushnell, and I'll say that it'll be a tough game, but I think East Side will win. I'll get East Side at Citizens Field to win that game. Bernadita Beach at Yulee in Nassau County.
Well, this one to me is a no-brainer because Bernadina's lost 2 in a row.
Yeah,
to
true.
West Nassau and Santa Fe.
That's right. And Yulee, of course, has already beaten West Nassau, and that's their only loss. So, yeah, you all got Yulee?
Oh, yeah. No-brainer, Yulee, yeah.
Fighting Derrick Henry's?
Yeah,
I'll take Yulee as well. Give me Yulee to win that game. West Nassau at Satellite.
I don't know much about Satellite. I know they're undefeated. They joined this Atlantic League late last year, but they're undefeated. But I still like West Nassau.
Yeah, you like West Nassau?
Yeah,
it's a long trip. Gotta say, a little bit of a road trip there. But I'm going with you there. I like West Nassau. I do too. I'll go with West Nassau to win that game. Branford at Trenton. Okay.
We may disagree with this one too.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm going Branford based on what I observed Friday night.
Against Interlochen. Oh, wait. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, right.
They threw and ran all over Interlochen, and I think Branford's a really good team. I think they're 5-2.
Yeah, the only problem that Trenton has here is their schedule's been kind of. I mean, Oak Hall is undefeated, but Chiefland had only lost. Chiefland beat him pretty bad. So I know the game's in Trenton, but I agree with you. I'm going to take Brantford. I know, again, I'm going to piss off Coach Fry there at Trenton. But I know one of these weeks he's going to be like, hey.
You never pick my team.
I know. Well, you're right. I haven't actually. All right. Last game, Bell at Interlaken.
Such a big game. Bell's won three in a row, but they beat Duval Charter.
Yeah, they beat.
I want to say Harvest Community.
Yeah, it's been not a murderer's row there. Who's Interlaken beat? They're 2-5.
Well, they beat Keystone, which is at least not a cupcake compared to those.
Yeah.
And West Oaks they beat at home. That was a couple games ago.
They played last year, right?
Yeah, Bell won twice in the regular season and the playoffs.
Okay. Go ahead.
And in fact, Interlaken was 5-0 going into that game. They had never lost to Bell until last year. Bell beat twice. I just think there's so much at stake for this game that I'm going with Interlaken.
Not so fast, my friend. I made a mistake of picking them back in week 1 against Trenton, but I think Bell's playing well. Coach Joey Whittington's got that team playing a lot better. I'm going to go with the Bell Bulldogs to win that game in Interlaken. So,
all right.
All right.
We have four differences.
All right. So we will see how that goes. Corey's trying to make up some ground as we get into week 8 this week.
Yeah, I definitely need to make up ground with you.
All right, that's going to do it for our high school football Gridiron Report for tonight. We will talk to you again next Wednesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. here before Brady's start. Plan on having Mike Rideout from Main Street Daily News on probably with us next week as our guest. Coming up, college football report in about 5 minutes. We'll take you up to around 10 o'clock here at North Florida Sports Talk. He is Corey Davis. I'm Marty Pallman. Talk to you next week for more of the high school football report live from before Brady's and Stark.